I'm going to do this very carefully. Once upon a time, there was a scientist named Ansem. And for whatever reason, rather than just becoming a cardiologist, he decides that he's going to study hearts in just a very bass-backwards kind of way. He begins by carving up little tiny goblins called heartless, which, despite being called heartless, actually have hearts. And as he's cutting them into little pieces, he's realizing that when you cut their hearts out, they float into space and become part of a giant crystal heart moon, which is called Kingdom Hearts. I don't know why it's called Kingdom Hearts, because it should be called the Kingdom of Hearts. That would make a lot of sense, but it's not. It's called Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom is an adjective for the hearts. So as he's doing his scientific research into cardiology, he has an employee who's just terrible and decides that he wants to eat all of the hearts and become the most powerful genie in all the world. Well, he wants to become very powerful. Somehow the hearts will make him stronger. One heart's the strongest muscle. Many hearts will make you very strong. It's like how Khal Drogo eats hearts and the Dothraki eat hearts. So Ansem finds out about this and is like, you should not be working for me. But he's one of those really passive-aggressive bosses who can't really fire people. And so somehow Anethort keeps working. No. Jansum. Anethort is the guy's name.
The bad employee?
Bad employee. Anethort doesn't get fired. He's just kicking around the office still, carving up Heartless, doing secret experiments, get some friends together, other bad employees. There's no good employees working for Ansem. And Thanasort essentially traps Ansem in a room, does a bunch of experiments, splits into three.
He does experiments on Ansem?
No, there's experiments on Heartless.
Oh, okay.
Splits into three. Xanathort, Jansum.
That's not real.
Well, I don't remember the third person's
Okay.
name, but it's the Heartless, the Nobody, and the original dude.
Okay.
Jansum is the one you're fighting in Kingdom Hearts 1. Flash over to the island of Sora. Zora's personal island, I should mention. We learn in Kingdom Hearts 2. First we think Sora is experiencing homelessness and just living on an island.
Living on an island is not homelessness.
He doesn't have a home.
Yeah, he does.
I always thought that he was just living on an island.
No, he was in a treehouse sleeping, wasn't he? Kind of like
I thought that
Link.
Sora was like, Link lives in an established village. I thought Sora just was like an orphan, like living rough.
Okay.
Not so. We learn in Kingdom Hearts 2 he lives in a beautiful beachside community. This becomes important because I think Sora is not who we think he is. Sora's playing on this island with his other extremely rich friends, and Heartless sort of start exploding into the world because Jansum, which is the Heartless version of Xanahort, is just wrecking shit because he's a Heartless now. And so he's fighting for the Heartless agenda. You've got a couple of political parties. Humans, Nobodies, Heartless. Because when you break a human in half, they become three. You get a person, a Heartless, and a Nobody. If you break a Nobody in half, nothing happens. Break a Heartless in half, heart pops out. Break the human in half a second time? I don't know. Nobody knows. That's maybe what Kingdom Hearts 3 is about. So the Heartless are just wrecking shit across the omniverse, the multiverse, and Sora gets sucked into a black hole. Event Horizon ensues. He gets a key that is a sword, that is a blunt instrument that also slices and dices and makes julienne fries. He meets Goofy and Donald, who are looking for Mickey, who was friends with Ansem. I guess flashback a little bit. Ansem was working with Mickey. So Ansem is a jerk, and Mickey, I guess, is like his only nice friend. Ansem's just surrounded by shitty employees and toadies, and nobody really hold him accountable except Mickey, who explores dimensions. Mickey has always been exploring dimensions. That's always been going on. And Ansem is kind of like, okay, well, you kind of keep me grounded a little bit, but now I'm in a dungeon. And so Mickey's like, where's my friend Ansem? Why are the Heartless going so nuts? There used to be just a couple. Now they're everywhere. Is this making sense so far?
It is.
That's awesome.
It is because this is Kingdom Hearts 1.
Right. I'm going to get to Kingdom Hearts 2. So, Mickey sort of enlists Sora, please help me find my friend Ansem, help me rid the world of these Heartless, by locking the doors to the kingdoms. Made so much sense, right? Kingdom Hearts 1, very simple. Lock the doors, Heartless can't get in, everything's fine. We get to Jansem, the Heartless version of Ansem.
No.
Xanahort is the nobody version of Ansem. Jansem is the Heartless version. Remember, you split into 3.
You didn't tell me that
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
You didn't tell me that Ansem split. You just said that Janahort split.
Oh my god, I really messed this up. Okay, sorry. You know that Blatt employee?
Yeah.
That is Ansem's nobody.
But
Ansem was Ansem's the OG bad employee. He was doing experiments on himself. Like in Spider-Man, like the lizard doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then there's just Ansem and 2 other ones. There's not Ansem and 3 other ones.
Yes.
Okay.
So Ansem did experiments on himself. Xanahort effed off to become king of the nobodies. No, he didn't F off. He locked Ansem in a dungeon because nobodies are very smart. Jansem, the nobody version of Ansem, is the one wrecking shit across the universe.
I thought Xanahort was the nobody version of Ansem.
Sorry, the Heartless version of Anthem.
Ansem. Wait.
The Heartless version of Ansem just bust through a wall like the Kool-Aid Man and went off to wreck the universe.
And that's the first game.
Yes. And Xanahort, meanwhile, behind the scenes in the first game, is just like, I've got a much trickier plan in mind.
And that's the nobody version
That's the nobody version. Nobody's are very smart. We still recording?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
We're on minute 7.
That's impossible. Well, then I must speed along. So you've played Kingdom Hearts 1, you know. So he locks all the kingdoms up. He kills what he believes to be the true Ansem. What Mickey believes to be the true Ansem. Mickey's like, oh, my friend's gone so apeshit. Please kill him. And you win the game. But you can't get back home. Because you want to stick around and find Riku. Because Riku got hired by Jansem. Just because Riku's just a bad person. There's not really a good explanation for it.
Riku's not a bad person. I thought he was working for Mickey.
No, Riku initially is working for Jansem to find... Because Kairi gets sucked in the black hole too.
And everybody loves Kairi.
Jansem isn't as smart as Xanahort, but he's smart enough to say, oh, if you help me find Kairi, if you help me, I'll help you find Kairi. So, Sora's a sucker, and so he goes looking for Riku with Goofy and Mickey. End of game 1. Chain of memories. The nobodies form a club, Organization 13. They all want hearts. Again, they're not cardiologists. Hearts are like souls. They want their souls back so when they die, they don't go to limbo.
Oh.
So that's where all the unbaptized babies go, and the nobodies do not want to be surrounded by a bunch of ghost babies. Yeah, limbo is where unbaptized babies go.
No, I don't mean that. I mean, is that an actual motivation for the nobodies that they in afterlife?
I think they're afraid of death. They want hearts.
Because knowing their motivation is something I lack.
All right, skipping ahead to 358-2, which is a movie, which was a game but is now a movie, and it's a bad movie until the last 5 minutes. You learn a lot about their motivations, and as far as I can gather, they care about 2 things: eating really bad tasting ice cream and getting a heart back.
For themselves.
For themselves. And yes, but Xanahort wants he wants the most hearts, right? Because he wants to be so powerful. But seemingly the other nobodies are working for him because they think they're going to get a piece of the pie. And I think they fear death. I think like all of us.
Can't they just go kill a Heartless and get a heart out of it?
So they can't. Only people with a Keyblade, I think, can kill a Heartless.
Oh.
That's why they go in Chain of Memories. They're like, ooh, look at Sora's little Keyblade. And perhaps he could come work for us. So they try to erase his memories. That's the whole Chain of Memories, if you'll recall, is they're trying to erase Sora's brain to use him to get Heartless carved open to create a moon made out of hearts that they all can have a piece of.
Okay.
Doesn't work, though, because Sora's very strong, so he fights back, keeps his memories. Well, no, loses his memories, but at that point, Kairi's nobody, who is a good witch named Naminé. Good witch. She's a witch. They call her a witch. Puts him inside of a pod to help him regain his memories.
Naminé puts Sora inside a pod.
That's how Chain of Memories ends. And it's how Kingdom Hearts 2 begins. Remember when he comes out of the pod?
No.
It comes out of a pod. She does this with the help of Diz. Spoiler alert, it's the real Ansem. He broke out of that little room. I didn't read any of his reports. I refuse to read any more than I have to in a video game. So who knows how he got out of that little room. Now, before I begin Kingdom Hearts 2, and I'll speed through this, 358.2 runs concurrently with Kingdom Hearts 1 and Chain of Memories. Unbeknownst to you, the entire time that Jansem the Heartless is wrecking shit, Organization 13 is building up a really organized political party, led by Xanahart, the nobody version of Ansem. Now, Xanahart is not being straight with his employees. He's trying to make it sound like when we all get hearts, everything's going to be great. I'm going to really make a wonderful tax break, and it's going to be a moon, it's going to be a beautiful moon, and the Heartless are going to pay for it. Mm-hmm. And everyone's a sucker, and they believe him. So they're going on missions all the time, and missions are just them killing Heartless.
But
I guess I lied. You can kill Heartless with a Keyblade. Seemingly.
Maybe you can kill them, but you can't kill them in such a way that the heart comes out?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. So, Sora in Kingdom Hearts 1, you'll remember when he helps Kairi, becomes a nobody for like 2 seconds. Splits into Sora. The Heartless version of nobody. I don't know. Maybe he's just not there. And nobody.
What?
Sora. Nobody's. All right, let's say T splits into 2. Sora and the nobody version of Sora.
But I thought it was canon that you split into 3.
It might be canon, but that's not what happened.
Okay.
Split into Sora and the nobody version of Sora. Roxas. Okay. Roxas is born into the world in Twilight Town.
Right.
He's there for like 10 minutes.
And he's got friends and stuff.
This is where it gets super fucked up. I'm about to really fuck with your head.
Okay.
Ansem
Ansem?
immediately appears. Like, born sexy yesterday, Roxas meets Ansem, and Ansem's just like, how would you like to work for me, young man? I'm going to wiggle your name in the air and turn Sora into Roxas.
That wasn't Ansem.
What?
That wasn't Ansem that he meets.
Xanahart.
Yeah.
Xanahart. Now, usually when you're a nobody, you can remember your past life. Mm-hmm. Roxas can't remember his past life. And it's because Sora's memories are all messed up or something. Mm-hmm. So Roxas starts working for Organization 13. This is happening basically while Sora is in a coma. While working for Organization 13, Roxas meets Xion, Xion, but it's not Zion, it's like Xion, because the X is pronounced like a sh.
Like Chinese.
Yes, that's how the X is pronounced. Roxas is becoming friends with Axel, who I don't know who's nobody Axel is, but it's probably someone we know. But Axel's way too old to be hanging out with these young kids. But I guess he feels bad for Roxas. They get ice cream every day after work. I gotta do this carefully. Xion, initially, is a real fucking weirdo. Just doesn't talk to anybody at work, just sort of like is a lurker. But over time becomes friends with Roxas. They seem drawn together. Spoiler alert, it's because she's a fucking science experiment. Xanahart knows that Roxas can use the Keyblade because he's Sora's nobody. And so he thinks he's got a good thing here. But he can't trust that Roxas is going to follow his own path because Roxas kind of got his own personality. So just to make sure he can really manipulate whoever has the Keyblade, he makes like a human robot. Like an Edward Scissorhands. Shown as Edward Scissorhands, but with human hands. All right? You following?
I am following, yes.
And so, but fucking the science of it is so fucked up and nobody planned for it. Sora inside the pod where he's supposed to be regaining his memories, treatment has stalled. Because fucking Roxas and Shown are sucking all the memories out of his brain.
On purpose?
Not on purpose, just by existing. Because genetically, they're so similar to Sora or something.
Oh, so Shown is
so the memories are just
part of Sora?
Yeah.
How so?
She's just like...
is that the
She's
is
like
that
a
the
clone.
Heartless
Yeah,
of
she's
Sora?
like a clone of Roxas, and Roxas is the nobody of Sora. And so all the memories are out there in the internet, and they're just being sucked into...
How is she a clone?
Because they're scientists. They're all learned scientists.
But it's a totally different...
Yeah, it's like Edward Scissorhands, man. I don't know. They just keep calling her a puppet. I'm assuming it's like Edward Scissorhands. That may even be a world in the next game.
I don't think that's Disney material.
So this is where it gets so fucked up.
Okay.
Diz is a fucking shithead. Like Ansem
Okay.
is a fucking like racist. Like he's just being like, nobodies aren't people. Nobodies are just monsters. Kill all nobodies. Because he's pissed off because they put him in jail. So he hires Riku to go fuck with the nobodies. And he's like, I need you to kill Shone. I need you to kill Roxas. If you don't do that, your friend's going to die. He's super manipulative about it. And he's shitty to nominate too. And he's like fucking 50. And he's talking to kids like this. So Riku goes out there for some reason with a blindfold because he's like Daredevil now. Take off your blindfold, Riku. You'll fight much better if you can see. You're not fooling anyone with your longer hair. He goes out there, like basically beats the shit out of Shone. And then Shone's in trouble at work because she didn't defeat Roxas. Because Organization 13's like... Riku.
Yeah.
He's wearing the robe. He's coming around. He's impersonating one of us. You gotta kill him. He's a bad guy. Oh, Shone couldn't do it. Put her in a coma. They keep putting people into comas, and nobody takes their shoes off. They're just laying in beds, fully clothed, for 40 days with their shoes on. The beds are a mess. Leaving seashells. She's getting really obsessed with seashells. So anyway, Roxas and Axel are always like advocating for Shone, being like, no, I'm sorry, she's such a fuck up. Let her come back to work. And then she'll come back to work, and you'll have like half an hour of the movie where they're just eating ice cream again. And then, like, it's just, like, that's how it's a 4-hour-long movie. And throughout, it's just periods of eating ice cream and everything's going it's just the grind, you know? It's just Monday to Friday, working for the weekend. Game picks up when Shone, for some fucking unbeknownst reason to us, decides, I care more about Sora than my own existence. I will kill myself so that Sora can have his memories back. Starts to get dark as fuck. Naminé meets with her. They have a meeting. Naminé's like, just so you know, when you give me Sora's memories, you don't exist anymore. You are nothing. You don't even go to limbo. And Shone is just like, sure, whatever. That's fine. I'm very, very, very depressed. And so Roxas, this is the fucked up part. One of the fucked up parts. Roxas, meanwhile, is just trying to live his best life. You know, and he's going to work. He's being a good employee. And he's just caught in the middle of all this. And fucking Xanahort finds out Shone's trying to, like, give her memories all back to Sora. Knocks her over the head. Or Axel knocks her over the head. He knocks Axel over the head. Takes Shone.
Wait, I'm confused.
Shone goes to Naminé.
Okay.
Axel goes to get Shone. To be like, don't do this! It's really emotionally charged. And he beats the shit out of her.
What?
He beats the shit out of her so he can take her back to Organization 13 to, like, reprogram her and get her head right.
Okay.
Well, he passes out.
Why?
I guess he had a hard fight.
Okay.
And as luck would have it, Xanahort's walking through the fucking foyer at that moment and is just like, oh boy, you've been quite the trickster. Picks her up, puts a microchip in her brain or something. She shows up to Ice Cream Tower where they eat ice cream every day.
Yeah.
And he's just like, Sora, I'm here to terminate you.
Sora?
I'm the Terminator now. Roxas.
Why are they terminating Roxas?
She's terminating Roxas because that's her fucking job.
Why is that her job?
Because she is a Keyblade wielder now. So Roxas is extraneous. She has a microchip in her brain. She's going to be a better Organization 13 member because now she's got that microchip. She's going to kill Roxas. Roxas is a loose cannon.
The microchip is making her able to use a Keyblade?
Yeah, there is a process by which she would become the ultimate killing Terminator.
Okay.
And now Roxas is extraneous. He must be terminated. Well, Roxas, in what presumably was a really badass video game fight, but is just nothing in this movie, it just cuts to a very sad death scene where Roxas immediately forgets who Shone is. Like, did I do this to you? Did I kill you? She's like, don't worry about it, Roxas. I was always meant to die. I was born to die on this bleak, bleak earth. Now I'm turning into a crystal like in that episode of Deep Space Nine. Deep tracks. But as she's like disappearing into ether, she's like, Roxas, please don't let Xanahort get Kingdom Hearts. I know you have no skin in this game, but please go and fuck up their plan. It's all for Sora. And she fucking dissolves into thin air, and Roxas is just like, are we still recording? Roxas is just like, oh my god, I do remember you. And I just watched you turn to ash like it's the end of Infinity War. Spoiler alert. So now Roxas is on a fucking tear. He doesn't trust anybody. He's mad at Axel. He's super mad at Organization 13. And if anybody says the word Sora to him again, he's going to fucking lose his mind. Meanwhile, Diz is whispering more racist shit to Riku about how nobodies aren't really people and how he's got to kill... The only option, he's got to go fucking kill Roxas, otherwise Sora will never wake up. Super manipulative, I'm saying. So Riku has been like kind of tiptoeing around the issue the whole movie. It's like, all right, guess I'm going to go kill Roxas. Goes to fight Roxas. That's that scene we see outside of the big hotel in Midgar City. Mm-hmm. And he loses the fight. Because he's about to stab Roxas in the neck, and he realizes Roxas is Sora's nobody, and I just can't do it. You know, like you're too much of Sora. This is weird for me. Roxas wakes up and of course doesn't give a fuck and like stabs Riku in the chest. Riku has to turn into the heartless version of. He turns into Jansum. He's got Jansum in his belly. Because at the end of Chain of Memories, I forgot to mention, Riku has an adventure of his own that I just watched on YouTube, where he fights Jansum again and swallows him whole.
Really?
He doesn't really, but he's got like bad spirits in his belly.
What?
Riku's got bad Jansum spirits. He's possessed by Jansum, and so he's like, well, guess I'm just going to let the Jansum out, and becomes a 40-year-old man. Okay. And is therefore able to strangle Roxas into submission. Okay. Diz comes along, and this is the most fucked up thing. This is what I've been building up to. Okay. First of all, Shone was Sora, basically. Okay. Second of all, that's not really the fucked up thing. The fucked up thing is that Shone was just so willing just, like, not exist anymore. Like, that's super depressing. That's, like, really fucked up. Really messed with me. Roxas. They take Roxas and they put him inside a fucking computer simulation of Twilight Town. The opening of Kingdom Hearts, he's not friends with those people. He's not friends with anybody. He was a nobody to start with, then a hardworking employee of Organization 13, and then he's just fucking living in a computer simulation, which, for the record, is my fucking nightmare. And all that shit where we think that, like, shit's going down, it's not. That's Organization 13 trying to rescue him, but they don't do it in time, and Diz, Ansem, pulls a lever, snaps Roxas out of existence, and suddenly Sora wakes up. So, let me review. Roxas is the only nice person in the world. He works for a shitty company, yes, but he starts actively trying to make up for that. He's like the insider in that cigarette movie. What's that called? The Inside Scoop. Movie about cigarettes.
Thank you for not smoking.
No. Anyway. He's a good guy. And they fucking, like, fuck with his brain, kill his girlfriend, and then, like, put him inside a computer simulation. So, like, I don't know why he was so excited to see Naminé. Fuck Naminé. Naminé is not Shone. Shone is gone. Shone is gone. And they fucked with his memories now to make him think he's in love with Naminé. Or something. I don't know. I guess I gotta play Birth by Sleep, which looks like it's about Batman.
Isn't Birth by Sleep what we did last night?
No, that was 358-2.
Oh, okay.
It's just a movie. But, like, can you fucking imagine? And, like, Sora? For Sora? Who is Sora? Why do I give a fuck about Sora? Sora's just a rich, privileged asshole who goes into a coma for a million years while I'm going about caring about all these other characters, and then they just release Zora to what? Kill Organization 13? A lot of those guys are just good guys or neutral guys doing their job. And who the fuck is Sora? Constantly complaining, joking around all the time, goofing off, doesn't care that he murdered two really nice people who just wanted to eat ice cream and maybe someday have sex.
He didn't murder them. Their deaths
he
benefited
had people
him.
murder for him.
No, he didn't. Sora has never been a puppet master.
You know, I think it's all the worse if he didn't know what was going on. To put someone into a computer simulation and make them think it's reality.
He didn't do that.
And Roxas was so happy.
Wait.
He's just like, wow, I'm living my best life in summer vacation.
Why did Sora didn't put Roxas in the computer simulation?
No, but his peons did.
He doesn't have any peons.
Ansem is his peon.
Ansem is not such Sora's peon.
Ansem is such a speciesist, not racist. Speciesist.
Well, I think I don't know.
What? Justify it for me.
No,
Xanahort,
I think that Ansem's
dude.
the bad guy. I don't think Sora had any idea about
Ansem is definitely a bad guy.
Yeah.
I think Sora just sucks.
Yeah, I think Sora sucks. But I
Yeah.
don't think that he's, like, smart enough to be involved.
Remember when Kyrie didn't get to use a Keyblade because Sora hates women?
I think it's because Ansem hates women.
Yeah, there's a lot of misogyny. There's a lot of speciesism. There's a lot of, like, just, like, really undervaluing lives. And also, just call it a spirit. If you called it Kingdom Spirits, that game would make so much more sense.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm still a little confused about the Heartless versus Nobodies.
Heartless are Gooblins. Heartless are Gooblins.
Okay.
They're Gooblins. You cut a Gooblin open, heart comes out. But if you cut a human open, and they're very strong, or sorry, if you cut a nobody open, if you cut a human open, and they're very strong, it makes a nobody and a human. You can take that to the bank. You cut me open, 1,000 nobodies will come out.
Well, they look like Lily.
Yeah, no, Lily's a heartless. Meg is a beautiful Gooblin. Meg is a dusk. Also, those things
What's
that
a
look
dusk?
like sex maniacs are dusks, not nobodies.
The Wiggle Squiggles?
I was like, once they're done, they come to fuck you.
You got anything else to say?
Do you have any questions?
No, I think I just need to digest it.
Me too, man. Me too. And scene.